none, and I didn't order none. That's what I'm talking about. So you try to talk to me like I was stupid. Bitch, I know what I ordered. How about that? You want to read it with your dumb ass? Read the screen. They tell you to read the screen. There ain't no fucking fries up there with no goddamn 20-piece fucking nuts. I'm easy. Now easy. I'm just like, since you tried to talk to me like I was dumb.
I don't think that was the proper
me that, you so
use
dumb ass. Don't
verb.
be quiet now, because I got a stick in my purse. I can stick in your ass, bitch. Look, hand, do you want it? Because I'll give it to you. Just like that, motherfucker. Watch who the fuck you think you talking to in this bitch. Not one of these simple-minded ass bitches that thought you
Welcome to
was
McDonald's, man. Help you.
Give me my money. I paid with a fucking card. Now hurry up so I can swipe my shit and get up out this ghetto, motherfucker.
Yeah. That place is ghetto. Sounds like it.
No, it say debit or credit, motherfucker. Which one you want me to put?
You stupid bitch.
I want it back on my card. You didn't give me this choice when you slid my card. So what the fuck did it say? Here, read the receipt, bitch, and tell me you the manager. I want my money. I'm finna get the floor and shit in this bitch, and it's gonna start with this in your ass. Motherfucker, I want my money. What the fuck do you want me to do? Hello? You the manager. But did you give me that choice? Well, here, figure it out. What the fuck did
What would you do in that situation? Well, so let's say that you're. Hold on a second. Okay, what would you do in that situation?
Perfect.
If you're behind the counter there, and you're getting yelled at like that.
And you make what, $6 an hour?
Well, it depends which state. In your state, you could make 15.
Right. Okay, 15. Is it $15 an hour enough to get yelled at like that? So what the fuck? I always give you shit because the first thing you always want to do is fight. But like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of that. I want to punch that fucking bitch. So I don't know how I can argue with you about that all the time because that's literally the first thing. God, I really just want to punch her in her fucking face.
No, okay. So here's the situation. I was gonna do.
I was right there with you.
All right. So here's the situation. Your daughter works at McDonald's, and you're stopping in after work just to stop in and say hi and see how her day at work is going.
Yeah.
As you walk in, there's a customer yelling, and you're seeing it. You see the customer yelling at your daughter like that.
Yeah.
when I slid the motherfucker? Because all I did was slid the bitch. But you the manager, and you like your job. Do you like your fucking face, bitch? Do you like your face? Do you like your face? Because fucking with me, your face is finna get it. I'm not playing.
So what do you're just gonna sit there and watch? You're not gonna do anything?
No. There's a huge difference between somebody yelling at me or whatever and somebody yelling at my kids. You know what I mean? It's
No. So what do you do?
fuck.
Well, wait a minute.
Is she bigger than me?
Are you more likely to get involved if it's your kids or if it's you?
If it's my kids,
Okay.
for sure. No, they can fight their own battles. So
Come on, you're the manager, bitch. Do something.
Depends on if she's bigger than me, I guess. Does it look like she could take me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I just sit down, just find a booth in the corner, and sit and wait till it's over.
Ma'am, I asked her why she never
ears.
picked up her room when she was younger too. Can you do that for me?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck,
you'd go
man.
up and you'd put your arm on her and you'd
Be like, hey,
swing her around.
hey,
And
stop! Stop! Just fucking stop! What are you doing right now?
All right. Larry. You know who the fuck y'all think y'all playing with in this motherfucker?
all right, better than that. Okay, so I was going to try to lead you down a path.
Uh-huh.
As soon as you started talking, you sparked something in my brain that I was going to lead you down the path of trying to get you to make physical contact with this woman,
Uh-huh.
which means that I would have won last week's argument.
Well,
But
yeah, of
I'm
course.
changing it.
That's what I
changing
said.
I'm changing it.
All right.
You walk into a McDonald's
Uh-huh.
and you see your daughter talking to the people behind the counter like that.
Uh-huh.
What do you do?
Oh, I jump right in and start yelling at. I don't even know what she's yelling at him for. I'm right there with her. You
black
wronged my
son of a
daughter, you
bitch.
dumb sons of bitches.
I can see. I can see you saying that. Let me swipe my card in this ghetto motherfucker.
Can you give me my money?
This shit was $6.99. I want all my shit. This say $6.56. I was charged extra 40 cents, bitch, for motherfucking fuzz. Read it. There go the receipt, dumbass. You raise it up.
Uh-oh, somebody's getting
I'm
involved.
sorry. I'm sorry. I want her to do her job. She was telling me how she liked her job and how good she did her job. I want this bitch to do it right. Give me my money.
God, this bitch is amped up.
Back up off me because I'm calling you something. Back up, bitch. Back up. Give me my change, bitch.
This is why we shouldn't have guns.
I think this is why we should have guns.
We should have guns.
Yeah. All it takes is one gun, and that lady's never going to do that again.
All right. So do we? Hold on.
We already did that.
Yeah, but we're doing it for real this time. I want to get to the catchy part when he says the name of our show.
Take it all back to them. I'm right, you're right. Everybody come along.
Stay tuned, everybody. It's coming up.
I'm wrong, you're wrong. Everybody sing this
Hurry
song.
up.
Talk it on over and we'll find out who's right.
There we go.
So worth it.
Everybody's gonna. Everybody's gonna.
All right. Lay a little music bed down right there for you.
You should have been a DJ.
Shut it off. All right. All right.
So the nice thing is you're actually watching the video. All I hear is the audio. That would have been interesting to see.
Whatever. So I think I want to do something.
All right.
Of course, I say this all the time, but so I made a note. Every week we get I get feedback either through email or messages on the social medias.
Sure.
And sometimes I forward them to you. Sometimes I take a picture of them, send it to you.
Yeah.
This one I didn't do anything other than make a note, but I wanted to read it because I read it and it made me smile and gave me the heebie-jeebies at the same time.
All right.
Out of the blue, I got a message. So I have on Twitter, I have our DMs open. So I don't have to follow anybody and they can send messages.
Sure.
All right.
Do you know this person?
Nope. That's
Okay.
what makes it so good.
All right.
So out of the blue, I get a message from somebody that I'm not following. I'm not familiar with them at all. Just whatever.
Yeah.
And it says, this ain't verbatim because whatever, but it's like, you guys are funny. I really like your show and tight Asian pussy. So, which is, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then he sent a follow-up message and it was, I've never had an Asian. And that's how he decided he wanted to interact with me.
All right. Back it up. How do you know it's a he?
Okay. Whatever.
It's just, the story is so much better if it's a chick.
Maybe it was our Florida correspondent.
She's still supposed to be sending me a picture of her snatch, so I'm hoping that's going to happen.
Just because you ask somebody to do something doesn't mean that they're supposed to do it.
All right, how about this? Send me a picture of your snatch. That's not an ask, that's a tell. Does that work? I mean, you don't even have to open the fucking thing up or nothing. Just,
open the fucking thing up. It's not like it's a purse.
just a picture of the outside, Just kind of just rub the camera lens a little bit.
Real quick. Can you show me where you pee from?
It's no big deal. I mean, if she wants, I'll send her a picture of my snatch. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what. There's not enough unsolicited hairy asshole pics being sent around the internet.
I agree.
And if there's anybody that can do something about it, it's you.
Right.
So fuck you fucked up my train of thought. Oh, it was about this guy. But so I clicked on his profile or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm guessing that he was introduced to our show from our friend Roxy.
Oh,
Roxy Ray,
Sure.
the porn star.
yeah.
Uh,
We've got a lot
know
of
you-
listeners that way, I think.
because he only tweets scat porn.
Nice.
Is it?
Yeah, that is. Yes, you got to find what you love and follow it, man. Just go after it.
What? So I appreciate everybody that listens.
Yep.
I'm also creeped out by most.
Yeah.
I wonder if, okay, you know who you are, poop guy.
Why you gotta call him out in front of everybody?
Well, I didn't want to give his Twitter handle or anything because, privacy. But
yeah, privacy.
I would like. That's what I want. I want him to come on the show
Uh-huh.
as poop guy, and I want him to explain what his fascination is with shit.
Perfect.
I want to know it.
Yes, perfect. I would love to do an interview with somebody that's into that. That would be great.
All right. So
We're putting out the call, guy or girl, even better if it's a girl.
Cookie,
Yeah.
Cookie, our Florida correspondent,
Yeah.
who's into shitting.
I'm into shitting.
I honestly, at this point, I don't know why anybody reaches out to us because it always gets twisted and turned around. And
Dude, I want to know if we ever heard back from what's those guys that
no, anybody that's ever asked us to sell anything, we never hear back from them.
No. The Weathers or the Dingleberries. What the fuck was their name? It was a podcast that said something about us, and I can't even remember the fucking context now. But they said something nice about us, and I wasn't very nice to them. What the fuck was that? Fucking never.
Brand
mind.
X?
No. Yep. I don't remember. It was a couple shows ago.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. All right.
They shouted us out, and then you played the clip of them shouting us out, and I was, fuck, my memory is fucking shot.
So did you listen to me over on? Okay, I'm gonna ask it. I already know the answer is yes because you just told me 15 minutes ago, but I'm gonna ask you anyway to make it sound like it's casual conversation and not like I'm just running out of shit to talk about.
Cut. Go.
Brent Gay. So did you listen to me over on WATP?
I did.
That was pretty funny, huh?
Yeah, hilarious. That was a long setup for that.
Yeah.
No,
What about
it was
over
good.
on what about Po' Boys? Did you listen to that?
I did. It was good. I liked it. You and Po' Boy should start a podcast.
Okay. I think I want to start. Okay. That was something else I wanted to talk about.
All right.
So we complained about not having or about not being let on the Not Safe for Work podcast that we were not safe for it. So I'm going to say no less than 6 podcast networks reached out to us
Mm-hmm.
and wanted us to join.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we should not join any of them as an act of defiance against the original people that said we were too racist.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Next option.
Join them all
Yes.
and then see how long we can, kind of like a Survivor series, but it's just us because we will go out of our way to try to get kicked off of every one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like I will set up other Twitter accounts and say that the other shows on the networks were saying racist things, and
I'll do it
I'll
for
do
my
it.
Twitter account. I don't give a fuck. What difference does it make to me? So I think that if we could get kicked off of 6 networks in an hour and a half show, I think that would be an accomplishment.
all right, so we're in.
Yeah, we're in all of them. Every network. We're part of every network now. If there's a network, we're a part of it. Let's see if we can get kicked off of networks that we're not even on. We want to get disavowed before we even get invited.
What about just starting our own network? Did we talk about that
Who's
already?
Right Network? Yeah, we're going to take the show to the next level, remember?
What about Who's Right Productions LLC Limited Incorporated?
Perfect. Do you know what LLC means?
Limited Liability Corporation.
Yep, Limited Incorporated. Perfect.
No, I don't want to be a limited liability. I want no liability to anything coming out of my mouth. Who's right? No Liability Incorporated.
How about we call it No Limit Records?
No Limit Podcasts.
There you go.
We'll get a big gold fucking tank.
And a pit bull. Don't they always have fucking pit bulls?
Who's they?
The fucking No Limit guys. Every single album cover was the same, wasn't it? They had a fucking pit bull and a guy sitting in a fucking throne.
What was that guy's name?
Will
Master
Smith-
P.
Will Smith. Oh,
All right. Yeah. So No Limit Podcast Production Limited Liability Incorporated.
all right. I'm being serious for a minute here. I know it's hard to tell.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. So, the idea of podcast networks, what do you actually think about that? I was going to tell you what I think, but I'm curious what you think first.
I think that on the surface, it's a good idea. In reality, they are generally, from what I've seen, poorly executed and an effective way for whoever started the podcast network to garner downloads and get their hosting paid for by other people.
You just changed my mind. Okay. So I'm in for starting a network. If anybody can execute anything poorly, it's me. And if anybody wants their shit paid for, it's me. So what's the downside here?
So typically, I think what it is a group of people that get together and say, you know, we're going to talk about you on our show and you talk about us on your show. And
Sure.
we're this band of brothers that will turn on each other in a fucking second.
Right. That's my problem with podcasts. That was what I was gonna say. My problem with podcast networks is that they just try to get as many shows as they can, and there's no real connection between the shows. So I have no interest in being on a podcast network with a show that I don't give a shit about. That's fake. I mean, I'd rather promote a show that I actually like.
Yeah, but you don't listen to enough of the indie podcast to know what you like or don't like.
Right. So you just made my point for me. So yes.
Yeah, but
I don't care about your fucking indie podcast.
But at this point, I don't care if you care.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm driving the fucking taxi. You're just along for the ride.
Sweet. As long as you know where we're going, I don't give a fuck.
No, so I think, like, let's see, if I was okay, I'm gonna put together my No Limit Podcasting Studios Productions LLC Limited Dream Team.
All right.
So first and foremost, the first one I would have to reach out to is John.
Okay. You're not going to say why? You're just you just feel obligated or what?
Yeah, it's out of obligation.
He said, yeah, I just feel obligated. Perfect. All right.
You know, so we sat here all this time and we always talk about, you know, John got us through the hard times, and he sent me an email and told me what mic to buy.
Right. Right. Time to cut the cord, man.
No, I'm not going down that road.
You want me to? I don't care. I don't.
Anyway, we're talking about John over at the Unbelievably Stupid podcast.
Isn't it unbelievably.stupid.com or something like that? Unbelievably.
Yes, unbelievably.stupidpodcast.com.
There you go. Perfect.
All right.
There's our plug for John.
Oh,
All right. So you want to start your dream team of networks or your podcast network, whatever. So you're going to get Unbelievably Stupid. Who else?
I don't know that I want to go down this road, because I interact with so many podcasters that if I don't say their name, then they're going to get all fucking butthurt.
You are fucking gay. What the fuck? See? You're a fucking sellout.
How? What?
You're a fucking sellout.
Who did I sell out to?
I don't want to go down this
Okay.
road because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Who did I sell out
You're
to?
a homo. Fucking indie podcast. Every indie podcast, you homo. That's gay. How are we gonna have a show when you're like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings? Come on, guy.
Who did I sell out to?
I don't know who's giving you money. Let's follow.
Apparently
the,
it's John.
Let's follow the money. You just said I don't want to go down this road because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Come on, sellout might have been the wrong word, but I know gay was right.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Okay. Ask me again.
What was the? I already forgot the question. What was? Who do you want on your dream team network besides John's show?
It'll be John,
Mm-hmm.
Ben Shapiro, and Joe Rogan, and us.
And us. Why? I can't believe you listen to Ben Shapiro. That kills me. Okay,
Next question.
That sounds like a good network. That's what I'm afraid of. We're getting you, not me. You are getting us involved in a group of other podcasts that is limiting what you're allowed to say, and that's just not what this show is about.
All right, what's the show about?
Saying whatever we want to say, but now you're trying to make connections and
Say the N-word.
schmooze all the fucking. I don't want to. You're trying to schmooze all these indie
Say it,
podcasts.
you pussy.
I can't believe you.
You'll say it on when we're not recording.
I will. You just contradicted what I said. I said we should be able to just say whatever we want to say. Say the N-word, dude. I don't want to just sit here. Man, I wish I could say the N-word. That's fucking stupid.
Okay, say the M word.
I don't want to.
What's the M word? I don't even know. I don't.
What the M word? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, Maury Povich.
That's the first M word that comes into your head.
Right.
Whatever. You're going down a slippery slope, friend.
No,
That's what I say when I just want to quit talking about something.
Yeah, that's terrible. What a fucking pussy.
All right. Go
what?
Who's not on our network?
Who's not? We don't even.
Okay,
have
I want chewed
Wait.
gum. How's that?
Yeah. Yes. I want that guy on our network for sure. He's a fucking chode.
All right, so we're only going to pick people that are chodes?
No, just that one. That dude is the most pretentious piece of shit I've ever heard. It's like cringeworthy to listen to because it's like, I swear to God, he doesn't have a microphone. He has a mirror that he's talking into about how great he is. He's fucking, God, what a douche. What's his name? Douche McKillian? Shillian McDouchenston? What the fuck is his name? Killian? What the fuck is his name? Seamus. There you go. Douche.
Or as Jody B calls him, Todd.
Todd. I like that.
All right, so I'm gonna try to reach out to him. He's got me blocked on pretty much everything. But...
do you need me to do it?
Yes. Can you do me a favor?
Uh-huh.
Send him a tweet and ask him if he'll join No Limit. What is it?
No Limit Podcast Network.
LLC.
Bean. LL Bean.
No Limit Podcast.
We'll say, we love your work. You're the greatest. Do you want to join our network? I don't know that I can reach out to him without calling him a douche. I don't know that I can.
All right.
Now I feel like I have to censor myself on your behalf because you're trying to get us on all these fucking indie networks and you don't want to offend anybody.
So that's the beauty of it, you stupid fuck. God, it's like you don't even know our formula. I'm the nice guy on social media and I interact with everybody and I'm friends with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to say anything that you want and there's no repercussions to the show because then I can be like, no, man, those guys are nice. Those guys are nice. And then people say, like, people send messages like, why the fuck are you talking about us like that? And then I get to say that, I don't know, that's Anthony. You know Anthony.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So just pick one of them, start talking shit, and we can do it. Go.
No, I'm not your monkey.
You don't have to get fucking racist.
Why's that gotta be racist?
Wasn't there a racial monkey story in the news? Did I put it on there?
A racial monkey story? I don't think so. Was it biggest breast award?
No, I'm serious. There was something about monkeys.
Really? I don't remember that.
All right.
Maybe I missed that one.
What happens if I search monkey racism? Monkey racism story. Prada made no. Monkey trinkets evoke a racist past.
Monkey.
Coolest monkey in the jungle. We already talked about that.
Yeah. So have you
I got nothing.
have you paid attention to anything that's going on with? Remember, I told you Joe Rogan was getting called out by Alex Jones.
It was Joe Rogan.
Is that what it was? Because that's the first thing I thought of. But you said
Then why didn't you say something? I'm
because
sitting
it
here
didn't,
like,
it didn't seem like what you were talking about.
did we talk about that last week?
I think I might have mentioned it the week before, but we didn't really talk about it. Because you hadn't at that point you hadn't heard anything about it.
Joe Rogan monkey.
He said we went to see Planet of the Apes, and we were in Planet of the Apes.
All right, so now I don't have to play the clip. Anything else, Dick? All right, I'm going to play this theme song. Go ahead.
All right,
No, you sing.
I'm not singing. I already stole your thunder once. I ain't doing it again.
Fuck it. I can't believe you just ran through it.
It's funny. I didn't know you were going to try to play it.
I said I'm going to find the clip, and you said the Planet of the Apes. I was in Planet of the Apes. Okay, whatever. I don't care. All right. So I was at Walmart today.
Yeah.
I was loading whatever bullshit I bought into my trunk, and this fucking car pulls up, and God, I wish you could see it here in North Carolina. These people are so fucked. So this car pulls up, and he says, "You been working hard?"
What?
That's how this. And
He's still sitting in his car?
yeah. I was loading shit into the trunk.
Yeah.
And then he pulled up, so he was perpendicular to me.
Yeah.
And did I use that word right? Yeah. All right.
He was
I don't
math to me.
There he was, all trigonometry. So anyway, he said, "You've been working hard?" And I turned around expecting to see somebody from work or somebody that I knew, whatever.
Yeah.
And I turn around and there's this guy and he's wearing this big old fucking cowboy hat. And I'm like, "Excuse me." And then he holds up the CD and he says, "You want to help me with my wife?" I'm like, "What?
What the fuck?
I am interested in this conversation to see where it's going to go."
Absolutely.
So I walk up and he hands me this CD and it's a picture of him. It looked to be printed on a inkjet printer.
Yeah.
And then saran wrapped. So for the CD.
Uh-huh.
And he's got like 2 or 3 guitars in cases in the back seat. And he says, "I've been singing for 35 years. All right. And then he went on to tell me that his wife had whatever, MS or something. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to that part, but so he was trying to get me to buy a CD of his for $10.
Whoa.
And me being the nice guy that I am.
Oh, what does it sound like?
Hold on. Let me get to me being the nice guy that I am. I was going to buy a song off of him on iTunes, but he doesn't have anything electric or electronic.
Oh.
That's the only thing I can think to say. You got anything on iTunes?
He said, "What's iTunes?"
He said, okay, so keep in mind, never talked to this guy before in my life. His response is, "Do you know who my first sponsor was?" And I was thinking, fucking sponsor? Who has a sponsor that's a musician? I didn't know it worked that way.
No.
And he said, like, Catfish O'Hooligan or whatever. North Carolina's #1 fisherman. That was 1997, and he died in 1999. That I'm like, all right.
Okay.
And then anyway, I told him I couldn't help him. So he started pulling away, and then he stopped, and he said, "I'm also selling knives." And
What?
he pulled out this big fucking pocket knife. I think I had a dinosaur or something printed on it. And I said, "Well, how much you getting for them?" $10.
Huh.
I'm gonna have to pass. Okay, thank you. And then as he pulls away, I noticed a bumper sticker, and it says Trump 2020.
Oh,
Which makes and it's weird that because I don't know if all this lines up politically, but all I was thinking is he's driving around Walmart parking lot trying to sell CDs,
and knives.
promoting a guy, and he's selling this to try to raise money for his wife's medical shit.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he have like a Bernie Sanders? I mean, wouldn't you want like free medicine? Isn't that what you would be voting for?
No, the wife story is fake. Maybe his wife does have MS, but he doesn't care about her. He just wants your money.
He's gonna build a wall.
Right. Around his wife.
He was collecting money for Trump to build a wall. I'm glad I didn't give any to that motherfucker.
Yep. Oh shit. Huh. That's pretty fucked up. You should have at least bought a knife though. And then you should have bought the knife and then used the knife to rob him for your $10 back.
Give me all your CDs.
Yeah, you could have robbed him from a
And then I should have uploaded all them to YouTube so everybody could get it for free.
Yes, and then followed him around with the YouTube link in his truck. You got a truck of your own. Hey, I got his shit for free right here.
I'll sell you the digital album for 50 cents.
Oh shit. Sounds like North Carolina is the place to be, man.
You can't. I was going to say accosted. I've been solicited for money in a parking lot. It's typically about, I don't know, 15 times a week.
What?
Sometimes it's just walking from my door to my car.
Are you being serious? You've been solicited for money a lot of times?
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah, obviously not 15 times a week,
No,
but
no. But I mean,
it's enough that I would say 15 times a week.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I've been solicited for money once since I've lived here, I think, that I can remember. Maybe twice.
Oh, I would say in the last year and a half, it's probably been 20 times,
Jesus Christ.
which works out to 15 times a week.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, math. If it's like parallel to the trisosceles triangle or whatever.
Achilles triangle.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, are we done?
Yeah. That's about it.
What about you? Anything happen with you this week?
No, my life's boring. I got nothing.
All right.
I work third shift and I interact with like 6 people. And that's no. I sleep all day. Boring. I am going back to first shift though, pretty quick here, so we're gonna have to change our recording schedule.
Nope.
All right. I'm not giving up my Friday night for you. Wait.
All right. So we got a bunch of fucking stories this week.
Yeah.
Let's do the Florida correspondent one.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, this is a video. I don't know if I want to play it. I haven't even looked at it.
Fuck it. If it's from our correspondent, I trust that it's good.
All right. Patriots. There's not even a story here. It's just a fucking video. Cooking.
Okay, so I'm reading the byline and it says New England Patriots owner. I'm already out. Football. Then I'm just like, so it says football. That's all I got. Fuck this shit. I'm out. I don't give a fuck about football.
New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft was charged with 2 counts of soliciting prostitution in connection with a Florida spa. I thought they all did that. What? How's that even news?
This video is 12 minutes long.
Fuck it. Let's play it. That'll eat up some time. I'm going to go out and smoke a cigarette.
Investigation. Did you You know,
All right,
Tuesday,
so she sent us a news story that is 2 sentences long, along with a 12-minute video that's shitty quality. I think she's looking to get fired.
Yeah. The only thing
It's
that
gonna have to-
the only thing that can save her job is sending me a picture of her snatch.
I didn't even see that coming.
No, neither did anybody else.
Well, fuck. That's 12 minutes we got to make up.
Is it? Don't worry, we'll cut that out in post.
Fuck. Moving on. All right. What's this one? Pledge of Allegiance.
All right.
All right. What do we got here? We really should. All right. Florida 6th grader arrested after dispute with teacher over Pledge of Allegiance.
Is that even legal? Can you arrest a 6th grader?
Yes. I do it all the time.
All right.
You are arrested.
You're under arrest, sir.
A Florida student is facing misdemeanor charges after a confrontation with his. I kind of forgot the setup about this story. There was I got this from Twitter
Okay.
because there was a screenshot of the headline: Florida 6th grader arrested after dispute with teacher over Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
And it was a long racial thread about white people. And those of you that don't know, white people, WYPIPO, is slang directed towards people of non-color that I think it's supposed to make us mad or something. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, what they're saying was it was a way of white people to keep black people down by forcing them to pledge allegiance to a country that is trying to enslave them.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But anyway, I the screenshot was enough to make me interested in reading more about the article.
Uh-huh.
All right. And I figured this is what we were going to argue about this week.
All right.
There. Prep work. Hold on. Prep work. Done.
All right. Cross that off your list.
A Florida student is facing misdemeanor charges after a confrontation with his teacher that began with his refusal to recite the Pledge of Allegiance and escalated into what officials described as disruptive behavior.
That's not broad.
All right. Ready?
Right.
Argue.
Wait, what's the argument? I'm for it.
Do you think that he should have been shot?
Yes, absolutely. You ever met a 6th grader?
He's black.
Oh, no. No. Well, the teacher can shoot him, but not the police.
Right. Okay. Nothing to argue about.
I think all the teachers should have guns and they should just shoot them, but not the cops, though.
And then throw Skittles by him or something.
Yeah. That's racist, man.
Did you say Mang?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Why not?
That's on the list of things that you're not allowed to do.
Oh, I have a list of things that I'm not allowed to do. No.
Go on.
No, man.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Oh.
All right. The student, a 6th grader at Lawton Chili's Middle Academy in Lakeland, Florida, east of Tampa. Why couldn't she have sent us this one?
Yeah,
She's-
really. What the fuck?
At least it's got fucking words.
At least
telling
it's
the
got words. What the fuck.
Refused to stay. Fuck, I'm fucking this all up. A student, a 6th grader at Middle Academy in Lakeland, Florida, east of Tampa, refused to stand for the pledge in the February 4th incident, telling the teacher that he thinks the flag and the national anthem are racist against black people, according to an affidavit. The teacher then had what appeared to be a contentious exchange with the boy. Okay.
That appeared contentious.
So far, whose side are you on? Just based on what little information you have.
I'm on the only because of the way I feel about this whole thing. I'm on the kid's side, but not because I think he's right. Does that make sense?
What? No. I almost did a spit take.
Go ahead. You want to know what side I was on? You got.
But Okay, you're not saying that he's right. You don't have enough information. You're just saying you're leaning towards with the kid so far.
Yes.
Okay, then I took it originally to mean I think the kid is in the wrong, but I'm on his side.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
His reasonings are wrong, but I'm on his side.
Okay, all right. If living in the United States is so bad, why not go to another place to live? Substitute teacher Anna Alvarez as the student, according to a handwritten statement from her. They brought me here, the boy replied.
Ooh, you're in 6th grade.
There was no fucking slave ship 9 years ago.
What the fuck?
What's your name? Toby. Kunta Kinte. Alvarez responded by saying, well, you can always go back because I came here from Cuba, and the day I feel I'm not welcome here anymore, I would find another place to live. She then called the school office as she did not want to keep dealing with the student, according to the statement.
Wait, so the teacher's Cuban?
Yeah.
All right.
Officials said the situation escalated. The student yelled at the administrative dean and the school resource officer with the Lakeland Police Department after they came to the classroom, accusing them of being racist and repeatedly refusing to leave the room. Suspend me. I don't care. This school is racist. The student, who is black, told the dean as he walked out of the classroom with his backpack, according to the affidavit. Fuck. The story's got a lot of words. I don't even understand the problem with the kid getting arrested.
What do you mean?
I think you should arrest anybody that doesn't do the Pledge of Allegiance.
No, you don't.
Don't tell me what I feel, motherfucker.
I'm telling you what you feel. So
If you
go ahead.
If you want to live in a country,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, my throat's fucked up. I'm gonna cough all fucking show.
You
If you want to live in a country
Mhm.
that gives you the right to free speech,
Mm-hmm.
you should be forced to pledge your allegiance to it.
I can't argue with that logic. Huh. The whole premise of your argument is wrong from the very beginning. If I want to live in a
I don't
country
even remember what my fucking argument
you said if I want to live in a country that gives me the right, my country didn't give me any right. I was born with fucking rights. Everybody was born with rights. Countries don't give rights. Come on.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that if you lived in fucking Bosnia or Canada.
What? Yeah, those two are pretty similar. No, I would think that, but it just wouldn't be the reality of the situation.
Okay, how about I should rephrase it then to get past your technicality.
It's not a
A
technicality.
country that lets you retain your rights.
There you go. Wait, so I should pledge allegiance to them?
Yes,
Is that what you're
you should
saying?
be forced to.
Forced to. Well, I mean, obviously you are. I mean, if you're black, I guess. So he was arrested because he was not arrested for refusing to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. This arrest was based on the student's choice to disrupt the classroom, make threats, and resisting the officer's efforts to leave the classroom. I am in 100% agreement with this, except for the arrest part. Take him away,
Hold on.
but you don't have to arrest him.
I apologize for this. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I think this might be the student. I'm not sure.
All right.
Guess what day it is?
All right.
Mike.
Commercial.
What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
I'm not a fucking professional.
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Get happy.
Action.
To a story we first brought you back in October. It involved a Cy-Fair ISD student who sued after she was expelled for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Channel 2's Ryan Korsgaard is live downtown at the courthouse with new details on that lawsuit. Ryan.
The attorney telling us this case will go forward after a quiet protest is getting a lot of attention. High school student India Landry and her mom walk into the federal courthouse. They expect to make this trip more often as the federal civil rights lawsuit against Cy-Fair ISD and 5 of its employees goes forward. India says she really wants instead to walk across the stage at graduation.
Hopefully my diploma, that's what's most important.
India says the
She's wearing a shirt that says, or a hat that says feminist.
I'm out.
Yeah. Arrest her.
Arrest her.
I bet she was screaming like, up in this ghetto, motherfucker, you're...
So
let me swipe my shit, bitch.
Okay, so she was in sixth grade, you said?
Okay.
I think that's what you said. Sixth grade, so what is that, like 12? 11, 12, 13,
Okay.
right around in there? So tell me that... I got to choose my words. I got to choose my words carefully here.
No, you don't. You're fine.
Yeah. So...
Oh, now who's worried about it?
Your mom. So this girl was obviously raised to believe that that everything is racist. Every aspect, anything that's not black is racist. Anything that says anything about white people, everything is racist. How do you think that this girl's going to succeed in life? I mean, when she gets out, when she's grown, you know? I would be surprised if she's not already strangling kittens. You know what I mean? Like,
principal at Winfern High School suspended her after India did not stand during the Pledge of Allegiance last fall. Her attorney says that she started her silent protest of the...
Isn't this all in how you frame the story?
What do you mean?
Okay. So I was talking over. I'm going to play that again. But I think what the news guy says is she was arrested for not standing over the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, because that fits the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative that she was being disruptive, and that's why she got arrested.
She started her silent protest of the pledge 6 teachers and 2 school years ago. She says it ended when she was in the principal's office last year and remained seated during the pledge.
I felt the flag doesn't represent what it stands for, liberty and justice for all, and I don't feel that's what's going on in the country today.
Her attorney calls the judge's decision allowing the case to go forward a victory for freedom of speech. He says that this is a case of racial discrimination.
The judge pointed out like 4 instances in her complaint where the school district was...
Wow, this is fucking stupid. God, it's to the fucking...
So
Fuck it.
There's a narrative, and the media is helping push that narrative.
Your mom's narrative.
Right. The narrative is that white people are oppressors and black people are oppressed, and the media is perpetuating that, and anything that goes off narrative is ignored. You know, I mean, it's just
racist.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever, whether it's true or not true or whatever. It doesn't matter if it's true or not true. You got to stay on narrative all the time.
So really, the only way to fight this then,
I was concerned about or talking about.
The only way to fight this then is to make it mandatory for you to stand during the pledge, regardless of your color. Right?
No.
Okay.
You said right, like I said that. I didn't say that.
Okay, so then can you make it mandatory for only black people to have to stand up?
Yep. I think we should take the pledge out of schools. How about that? Can we do that?
We got to make a choice. We're either going to take the pledge out of the schools or the blacks out of the schools.
That was all you. So when you get hate mail, that was all you.
No, I said we have to make a choice. My choice, the pledge, I guess.
So you said that reluctantly. That was all you, man. So why the fuck do we have kids pledge to a flag anyways?
All right, real quick, I want you to answer as fast as possible.
Okay.
How many countries force their citizens to say the pledge to their flag?
2. 3.
I don't know. Oh. I was going to say us and Nazi.
I'm gonna guess. Are you looking it up?
Is Nazi a country?
Yes. I'm gonna guess North Korea, China, and America.
How many countries force, pledge, allegiance? I guess I don't know. I don't know how to fucking Google. Really should do this work before we start recording.
No, this is cool. It adds content to the show.
Okay, countries that do regularly perform a Pledge of Allegiance or similar in their school. United States.
Yep.
Mexico, Philippines, India,
I'm already
China.
out.
China,
Yeah.
Singapore, and Turkey.
Really?
Countries that don't, all European countries, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand.
Wow. Crazy. We gotta stop the recording.
Okay, bye.
We don't have to say bye. We just have to stop the recording because I gotta fucking piss.
Okay, bye.
All right.
I'm gonna go smoke.
All right.
The show.
No, I'm recording. All right. So
hold on, I gotta go pee.
all right. So don't forget, we're going to just go right into our Patreon. We wanted to kind of tell everybody how we were going to do that, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that. We're doing. I'm not gonna say we're doing something new this week. This is how we're gonna do it from now on.
Yeah.
We are just gonna record one long show, and then pick a point. I don't even know. Are we gonna say Are we still gonna say goodbye and just keep recording? Or is the show just going to stop?
I think the show can just stop. I don't give a fuck about saying goodbye.
But that's been our thing for fucking 180 episodes.
That's true.
Can we say goodbye? Can we say goodbye to the buys?
What? I don't know what that means.
Bye.
How about we just say bye now, and then when the show's over, pretend like you just heard it right then. When you hear us stop talking, that way, I guess that way people know the show's over because they're listening to it on headphones and the shit just stops. Oh, my phone stopped. Yeah, we probably should say bye, but we're just gonna keep it all together.
All right. There's no way that this is gonna work.
I kind of didn't want to say bye or whatever because I want to be able to cut it wherever we feel like cutting it. You know what I mean? And that part's Patreon. We'll just record until we're done recording and then cut it where we feel like cutting it. So how about if we just edit in the bye?
No.
Why not? That's even better.
I am making a note on our board for next week.
Okay.
And then it's going to be at the beginning of every episode. We're going to say, don't forget that the show is going to end, because every week we get new listeners. And if we're only explaining it this one time, and then from here on out, just in the middle of the episode, it stops and they won't even know where to go,
Right.
Right. Yeah. Cause that seems to be a problem.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, yeah, at some point the show's going to stop, and then you can pick up the rest of the show over on the Patreon. Who's Right Pod? Nope. Who's Patreon / Who's Right?
Oh shit. Yeah. All right.
So it costs you fucking $1 a month, you pieces of shit. Just fucking give us $1.
Pieces of shit. Oh my God. I can't believe that I didn't hear about this story before now, this Pledge of Allegiance story. That's crazy.
All right. So this will be an interesting conversation. The John Wayne Playboy interview from whatever, 1910 or whatever the fuck.
It's like 1970 something or other.
1971.
Yeah.
So this thing reared its ugly head, I guess you would say. Somebody must have found a stash of. How the fuck do you think this just comes up? Somebody was looking through an old Playboy and read the interview?
No, I think that people are looking for things to be mad about, and they ran out of things that are happening right now, so they start going backwards.
Right, but how do you end up on a fucking John Wayne interview from Playboy from 1971?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I've known about this interview for a long, long time. I mean, you never, is this the first time you've heard of it?
Yes. I typically, when I was younger, I would read Playboy for the
articles.
But in 1971, I was not born.
So I guess I heard about this in high school.
What?
I was This is gonna never mind. So I can't believe that this is the first time you heard of it. I just it's been pretty well known that John Wayne wasn't a good person. He's kind of a shitbag, you know what I mean?
But what does that have to do with this article? That's fine. Everybody knew that he was a shitbag.
This article is one of the contributing factors to how everybody knew he was kind of a shitbag. What do you mean? Well, I mean, are you think everything was kosher in this article? Everything's good, no problems.
No, I don't understand your line of questioning. All right, so
that was a pretty straightforward question. What do you think about this article? Do you think that he came off looking good?
I don't know. Do you think we should read it first before we discuss that?
No, fuck it.
All right,
go ahead. What?
First off, I need to know, how's your John Wayne impression?
Oh God. Not very well, not very good. How's my any impression is not very good. We're not going to read this whole fucking thing, or maybe we should. How long do you figure it would take us to read this whole thing, and that's our show?
Your elderly black lady impression's pretty spot on.
Is it?
You want to do it in that?
No, we're going to go John Wayne. I want to be Playboy.
So if I'm John Wayne, then I'm going to do the same hacky, hey, Pilgrim. I'm going to start everything with, hey, Pilgrim.
Uh-huh. I thought it was partner. Hey, partner.
Are you familiar with the John Wayne rap? What is it? Duh. Do you know that?
No.
Oh, fuck. What are the odds that I'm going to find this on the fly? And once I do find it and I start playing it, it'll prove that it has no relevance at all to the conversation, except it'll put me in the right mind frame to do a John Wayne impression.
Wait, are you looking? Because I just found the quote of this whole thing.
Go ahead.
I'm just kind of scrolling through this article or through this interview. Playboy said, "You chew, but you don't use drugs. Do you still have as much?"
Oh, don't start reading that shit.
This has nothing to do with it. This is just funny to me. This has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about. It says, "I drink as much as I ever did. I eat more than I should, and my sex life is none of your goddamn business." That's awesome. I like John Wayne.
All right. So I want to play this, and it's going to get me lined up and raring to go with my John Wayne impression.
All right.
So you think you're bad with your rap? Well, I'll tell ya, Pilgrim, I started the crap. When you were in diapers and wetting the sheets, I was at the Ponderosa rapping to the beat. Da ha da.
I love this song.
Da ha ha.
All right, ready?
Wow, that is bad. Like,
fuck you.
You could tell immediately, like before he even started rapping, that beat was written by a white person, like mimicking what they thought rap sounded like and never listening to rap before. That was terrible.
You're way off base.
No, there is zero chance that any black person was involved with that in any way.
Okay, here we go. Look it up. I hope he's black.
Me too.
And he is.
I'm not taking your word for it. You're lying.
No, right here. Sean Brown, black. That's what it says.
So, Sean Brown, black. So, since I'm white, am I allowed to use the term Uncle Tom?
Do you have an uncle whose name is Tom?
Nope. I mean, I'm talking about that guy.
You can't fucking flip flop like that. You just said, "Oh, I can tell this is a white guy based on that it's a generic sound," and I guarantee you that whoever's singing this, there's not one black person involved in it. Turns out the guy that wrote it and singing is black, and now he's an Uncle Tom.
Yeah. So
It sounds no different than any other 1984 rap music.
Yes, it does. So you can't flip flop. Fuck you. I can flip flop all I want. It's probably written by an Asian dude. Tell me I can't flip flop. All right. I take it back.
Nope. Here's what we're going to do.
All right.
We're going to play a fucking game.
It's never fun when we play a game. Come on.
Is it white or black?
All right.
Hold on. This is just giving me an excuse to play this one song.
Oh, God.
We are going.
We're going off the rails.
Yeah. There we go.
What's going on, yo? I'm sick and tired of 5-0 running up on the block, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Snow, they came around looking for you the other day. Word, bust it.
Inform. Something. I don't know the words.
I'll lick your boom boom down.
Yeah, that.
White or black?
That dude's like Jamaican. Straight
Close
up Jamaican.
All right. Okay, so
he's white as fuck.
Now we got to go backwards to 1984 rap music, and then back to Rappin' Duke, and now back to the article.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I had to back everything up. We started with the Playboy article, and we ended up listening to Informer by Snow.
Perfect. That's not a natural transition that people would make.
We're a trans podcast.
Right.
Trans friendly. See, now I don't even care so much about the podcast. I'm just looking at other songs that came out at this time.
Cool. Let's just sit here and play music.
Reminisce. Where was I at?
Reminisce about Informer.
All right. Playboy. All right. So you were going to be the Duke.
Yeah. Are we reading this whole fucking thing?
No, we're going to start. Right here.
All right. Yep.
Okay. It's like the third question down.
All the way at the top. All right.
What kind of films do you consider perverted?
All right. How do you feel? What kind of... Easy Rider. Midnight Cowboy.
Spot on. You're killing it.
That kind of thing. Wouldn't you say that the wonderful love of those two men in Midnight Cowboy, a story about two fags, qualifies? Yeah. But don't get me wrong. As far as a man and a woman is concerned, I'm awfully happy that there's a thing called sex. Okay. It's an extra something God gave us. I see no reason why it shouldn't be in pictures. Healthy, lusty sex is wonderful. What the fuck?
How graphically do you think it should be depicted on the screen?
When you get hairy, sweaty bodies in the foreground, it becomes distasteful. Unless you use a pretty heavy gauze. It's
like a blur.
I can't remember seeing pictures that Ernst Lubitsch made in the 30s that were beautifully risque. And you'd certainly send your children to see them. They were done with intimation. John Wayne's smarter than I am. They got over everything these other pictures do without showing the hair and the sweat. When you think of the wonderful picture fair we've had through the years and realize we've come to this shit, it's disgusting. If they want to continue making those pictures, fine, but my career will have ended. I've already reached a pretty good height right now in the business that I feel is going to fade out from its own vulgarity. What? What the fuck does it even mean?
So I've jumped down like 15 questions, so you're going to...
Where?
Ready? You know what? We should have fucking pre-read this. I had no idea there were so many words. All right. Fuck. fuck. I wish Playboy would number their questions. That would make things a lot easier. I am down where it says Angela Davis claims. I'm going to read real slow. That'll give you time to find it. It's like 15 questions past where you were at. Angela Davis claims that those who would revoke her teaching credentials on ideological grounds are actually discriminating against her because she's black. Do you think there's any truth in that?
With a lot of blacks.
We fucking nailed that shit.
With a lot of blacks, there's quite a bit of resentment along with their dissent, and possibly rightfully so. But we can't all of a sudden get down on our knees and turn everything over to the leadership of the blacks.
What the fuck is...
I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility. I don't believe in giving authority and positions of leadership and judgment to irresponsible people.
So I don't understand what the problem is.
No? You don't?
Can you argue that?
Well, I mean, it's his opinion. What's to argue? I don't.
Right.
I don't believe. Okay, you don't believe it. I can't argue that.
Do you think there's anything wrong with what he said?
Of course. But to pretend like something that he said in 1971 when he was born in like 1840, whatever the fuck year he was born, when this shit was completely normal, and then bring it into 2019 and pretend like it should, everything should be the same. It's not. This was normal thinking back then.
But you're saying there's something wrong with it?
Yeah, of course there is. You don't think that there's something wrong with this?
So I'm taking it literally, and literally it says, I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility. So let's assume that right after slavery,
mm-hmm.
which was what, like 81 or something?
A long time before this article was written, but okay. So even let's say that this was the day after slavery. You believe that because they were slaves yesterday, that makes them irresponsible, and we can't.
No, it makes them it makes people uneducated. It's proven that if you don't go to school and get an education and learn to read, you are uneducated. That is a proven fact, and it is in my textbooks.
I don't have an argument to that, I guess. So I think we're arguing the same thing. He's saying not to give power to uneducated people.
Yes.
But it says until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility. What does that mean? So until the whites have educated them enough, until they're responsible. So the whole idea of this is that black bad, white good, which is fucking retarded.
No, I agree with that, but it's still at the core of what he's saying. You shouldn't turn leadership of your country over to uneducated, irresponsible people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But so then we agree with John Wayne. Moving on.
No. Don't say we. You're a racist fuck.
I am not. So you're so fucking worried about what people think. Just
I am.
Yes.
How am I worried? I don't give a fuck what people think. I'm telling you what I think.
Okay. Why is it so hard for you to say that? We shouldn't turn the country over to people that are uneducated and irresponsible.
Yeah, that I believe. But he's not talking about that. He's talking about blacks. I don't believe that. The idea that blacks are uneducated and irresponsible, I don't agree with that.
Oh, no, I don't believe that either.
But that's what he's saying. You can't separate it out. You don't get to separate out his words and pick.
I get to do whatever the fuck I want. That's the beauty of this.
I agree with every third word he says.
All right, let's see what that is. With of quite resentment there, possibly so. I'm with him.
I got it so far.
But all get knees, everything, leadership blacks, believe supremacy blacks, point, don't, giving, positions, and irresponsible. I agree 100% with the Duke.
With the Duke. Did you ever watch John Wayne movies?
Fuck no. Fucking piece of shit.
The idea to me that this, I agree. The idea that this is a controversy in 2019 is so fucking stupid.
I don't think that it's a controversy. It's whatever. There's still more funny quotes.
All right.
All right. Next question. Are you equipped to judge which blacks are irresponsible and which of their leaders inexperienced?
It's not my judgment. The academic community has developed certain tests that determine whether the blacks are sufficiently equipped scholastically. But some blacks have tried to force the issue and enter college when they haven't passed the test and don't have the requisite background.
Do you think anytime somebody says the blacks, you should just immediately dismiss everything that comes after?
Yes. I don't know that that's the right way to do it, but I do. I mean, subconsciously or whatever, when somebody says the blacks, damned, I can't listen to anything you say after that. You're obviously an ignorant fuck.
So typically the way the conversation starts out is, I'm not racist, but, comma, the blacks,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
This one's good. How do they get that background?
By going to school. Wait a minute. I don't know why people insist that blacks have been forbidden their right to go to school. They were allowed in public schools wherever I've been. Even if they don't have the proper credentials for college, there are courses to help them become eligible. But if they aren't academically ready for that step, I don't think they should be allowed in. Otherwise, the academic society is brought down to the lowest common denominator.
Okay, so what year was it? So this was 1971.
Yep.
What year was it when they stopped segregation in schools?
Wasn't it like 67, 68, right?
I don't know. It was
65?
right before, I think it was right before Forrest Gump met the president and after Vietnam or something.
Right. Sounds about right.
What year did blacks
1954.
What year did blacks go to school? That wasn't the right way to ask that. History of black education. Yeah. End of segregation.
1964.
2008.
2008.
A century of racial segregation. Anyway, so what I'm okay, it was Brown versus the board.
Which was 1954, right?
I don't know. I give up. Is it weird that it's called Brown?
I think that was the guy's name. It's only weird to you.
All right. NAACP. 1954. All right. And this article, so he's lying, right?
Well, yeah, they were allowed in school in the 50s. This is the 70s. So, I mean, they had been allowed in school for not quite 20 years. So
is it allowed in school, or they were allowed in white schools? Because that's all the blacks versus Board of Education was.
The people insist that blacks have been forbidden their right to go to school. They were allowed in public schools wherever I've been. So he doesn't say whether it's, black schools or what,
And it doesn't matter where the fuck he's been.
Yeah. You surround yourself with other people that think like you, you're never going to see, like I do with you.
Right.
Wait.
All right. Rectum. What good?
Rectum.
Go.
What?
Say it.
What? You're supposed to say it. I mean, rectum. Damn near killed him.
Oh, okay. This will be the last one. Nope. Second to last one. Many militant blacks would argue that they have it better almost anywhere else. Even in Hollywood, they feel that the color barrier is still up for many kinds of jobs. Do you limit the number of blacks you use in your pictures?
Oh, Christ, no. I've directed 2 pictures, and I gave the blacks their proper position. That doesn't sound bad at all. I had a black slave in the Alamo. Good for you. And I had the correct number of blacks in the Green Berets. If it's supposed to be a black character, naturally I use a black actor. But I don't go so far as hunting for positions for them. I think Hollywood studios are carrying their tokenism a little too far. There's no doubt that 10% of the population is black or colored. Or whatever they want to call themselves. There we go. They certainly aren't Caucasian. Anyway, I suppose there should be the same percentage of colored race in films as in society, but it can't always be that way. There isn't necessarily going to be 10% of the grips or sound men who are black, because more likely 10% haven't trained themselves for that type of work.
Did he say anything bad there?
So let's see. Okay, so right here, starting, but I don't go as far. If you start right there, I'm in. But if you start before that, it's comes off as bad.
All right, so I want to try this because I'm really curious about this. All right. So the question is, many militant blacks would argue that they have it better, or whatever. Okay. Do you limit the number of blacks you use in your pictures? All right. So I'm going to try same message, different words.
All right.
Do you limit the number of blacks you use in your pictures? No. I've directed 2 pictures so far, and I gave African Americans their proper position. Yeah, that's already bad. Hold on. And I gave African Americans jobs. I had an African American gentleman in the Alamo, and I also had a correct number of coloreds in the Green Beret. If it's supposed to be a black character, naturally I'll use a black actor. But I don't go so far as fuck it, I can't do this.
So this is how I look at it. If you read this article with the mindset that John Wayne is a terrible person and he has malice and is thinking bad things about black people, you can read it that way. If you read this article and think that this is just how people thought at the time, he's not necessarily mean anything bad, this is just how he expressed what was going on at the time, it's not nearly as bad. I'm not trying to justify it or say it's good, but
are you sure that it's not nearly as bad? I mean, I think that's the fault right there. That's like where if I was really passionate about this, which I'm not, that's what we could argue about.
Okay, what do you mean?
The fact that not that long ago, it was okay and embraced to talk about another race of human being as being inferior, and it was just accepted.
That's the case right now.
Right, except it's white people, so
right.
It's different.
Yeah, so that's my point. If what's the difference? It's completely accepted right now. Like nobody learned anything. What's so bad about this?
Yeah, so you don't have a good argument.
I don't?
No,
because I do. I have a good argument. I just kind of changed the subject because you caught me off guard with that one. But my argument is that if intent matters, if why he's saying these things matters, and he wasn't saying I hate all black people, then this doesn't read that bad.
No, I disagree with you. It's not that. Okay. Yes, intent matters. But if you just at your core believe that one race is below your race,
yes.
That is the definition of racism.
Does. Obviously, he does.
Definition of racism, right?
Yes.
So there are plenty of people that feel like this right now. They're just not as vocal about it. And what black people are doing with the whole white people thing is completely different than this. It is completely different.
It's not, but okay. Well, I'll go with you. Why?
You just said you're going to go with me, so you
Yeah.
already know why.
Yeah, I said why. Why is it completely different?
Because black people are they're not out there saying that white people are an inferior race. They are accusing all white people of being racist. That's different.
No, you're wrong about that. They are out there saying that white people are an inferior race. They are.
Then find it. Go. Cite your sources.
Okay, right here. I'm looking at it right now. What the fuck are you talking about? Find it. Go. What?
See,
find it. Go.
Right. You have no proof. You're just saying shit that doesn't make sense.
We're recording a podcast right now, and you find it. Go, and I don't have it in 5 seconds. So
Hey, I pulled up the fucking John Wayne rap on the fly.
Shut up. So,
fuck you.
All right,
I'm done.
All right, so so hold on. This is gonna seem like an out there argument, but I think it sort of kind of proves my point. And I know where you're gonna accuse me of all kinds of stupid shit when I say this, but imagine in, let's say, 100 years, 200 years, that we somehow, some way find out that dogs and cats are on the same level as human beings, right? And then you go back 200 years and you find all these articles about people who were treating their dogs like they were less than human beings, right? Do you understand how when you're socialized to believe something, that's just the way it is? You think that John Wayne...
What's that have to do with anything?
You think that John Wayne ever stood a chance to not believe these things? You think that John Wayne's parents raised him from the time he was born to believe that black people are equal?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
I just asked you a question.
It's not a pass.
It kind of is, though.
No, it's not. That is fucking dumb. That is ableist.
So, you're an idiot. So you think you think that the way that you're raised and the society that you live in plays no part in your beliefs?
Of course I don't believe that. That doesn't mean it's a pass for being wrong.
Wrong.
If I was raised to be a racist,
mm-hmm.
Does that mean I just get to walk around and say and do whatever I want because, hey, that's how I was raised? Just because you're ignorant doesn't mean you're right. The name of the show is Who's Right, not Who's Ignorant.
Okay, but if we start saying that John Wayne was born in 1909, 1905, something like that, so the way that John Wayne was raised doesn't fit the standards of 2019. So what the
okay?
Who gives a fuck?
So far,
what does that mean?
So far, I agree with you.
Yes, but what does that mean? So we need to go back and judge all these people that were born,
yes,
and died before I was even born. I don't. It doesn't make any sense. What's the point of any of that?
All the way back. You mean like what's the point of even digging this up and people talking about it?
Yes. We already know that people in the past were racist and bad. So we need to dig up to find more proof? Because
but not everybody. Not everybody was racist and bad. And anytime that you can find dirt on somebody that has been dead for 60 years, why not kick them?
I mean, it seems so stupid. There's so much more things that you could be outraged about, like racism, school flags or whatever. When you're doing your fucking Pledge of Allegiance, be mad about something that's happening now at least.
So I got accused of something. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I just thought I wanted to read it because I thought his answers were funny. That was it.
Oh, all right.
I don't want to get into the seriousness of digging up this article and all that, which is, if there's anything that's going to drive me away from recording a podcast with you, it's you.
I'm telling you, you and Po Boy need to start a podcast.
I'd be okay with that.
So
we're going to start a network, and we're going to go up against what was the name of the No Limit Podcast Studios LLC,
right? So you got accused of something.
Yeah, what's that? What's the PC or social justice term for people that grandstand in something they don't believe in?
Like virtue signaling,
right?
Yeah.
I got accused of being a virtue signaler on
Really?
Twitter.
Huh.
There was an argument about the wall in Mexico
All right.
being a national emergency.
Yep.
And I don't remember how I tied it in, but in my mind, there's more of a national emergency with Michigan not having drinking water.
Yeah.
To me, that if you were going to declare a national emergency and route money somewhere,
Yeah.
that would make sense to me.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
And I got attacked by Randall from Married AF.
Mm-hmm.
And the back and forth was, it's not a national problem, it's a state problem. We shouldn't have to take national funds and direct it towards a state problem.
Mm-hmm.
And my argument was, if the state doesn't have money, the people still don't have water.
Yep.
So let's fix the water problem. And then if we have to charge the state to get the money back, fine.
Yeah.
But worry about the water first.
Sure.
And then that's when I got accused of being a what is it? Virtue signaler?
Virtue
Is that right?
signaler. Yeah. Which, I mean, you are, but, you know.
Why? How? I don't understand.
Because I think everybody is a little bit on Twitter. I think that's the goal of Twitter. You're not doing anything at all about water in Michigan. But
I am too.
No,
See,
you're not.
don't tell me you don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yes, I do. Well, I know what you're not doing.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You have no idea.
I know that you're not helping with the problem in Flint.
Bullshit. You don't know that. Ask me how much money I've donated towards water for Detroit.
How much?
$4,000.
All right. So I was wrong. I don't need any proof or anything. I was wrong. So
all right.
So you've done nothing, and you will do nothing about water in Detroit.
I will donate as much next year as I did this year.
But you've decided that you can go on Twitter and say, we need to do something about this, and bang your fist about how important it is. And
see, that's where you're wrong. It was a simple comment that how can America not believe that this is a national emergency and we need to build a wall?
Yeah, I can get behind that.
And then me just okay, so Twitter is like an open conversation with everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody was to walk up to me and say, we need to build a wall because there's a national emergency.
Yeah.
And my reply is, I would think it would make more sense to spend the money for a state that has no drinking water.
Yeah.
How is that virtue signaling? I'm not out there like I think it's the only time I've ever tweeted anything about dirty water. Ever.
Yeah.
So I'm not banging my fist. It was just a retort to a question or a statement. That's all it was. How is that virtue signaling? So if I have an opinion on anything that is different than what somebody's pushing, then I'm a virtue signaler?
No. It's not that your opinion is different. It's that you have an opinion that's runs counter to whatever Randall said or whatever, and you don't really care. You don't have a dog in the fight. You don't. It doesn't matter either way. But it's important for you to let people know how important Flint, Michigan's water is to you. That's what's important here, is that people understand that you care about Flint, Michigan. Not that Flint gets water. It's important that people know that you care, that Doug cares.
So I don't want to run this into the ground, but I think this is an interesting conversation because I'm off the stick, and because I don't see it that way. To me it was, I don't want to say innocent, but maybe that's what happens, right? Maybe everybody doesn't see it as innocent. So you can't tell me that I don't care.
All right. All right. Okay, wait. You're off the shtick. So do you want to know what I really think?
Yeah.
What I really think is that when people say that you're virtue signaling, it means that they don't have a response and they're trying to shut down the conversation.
Why didn't you fucking say that?
Because it's not nearly as funny as it is to just make fun of you.
All right.
So obviously he had no comeback. He has nothing to say. So Oh, fuck, he's got me. Well, you're virtue signaling. That way he doesn't have to answer. That means there's no conversation. Nobody ever has to. That's the way people talk now. Nobody has to say anything. You can just, when you made your point, and then I can say you're virtue signaling, and then the conversation's over and I won. Nobody has to talk. Nobody has to say anything of any substance.
Do you think you can do that? Can this work in real life?
All right, bye.
No, the next time I'm getting yelled at by my boss, can I just tell him that he's virtue signaling and leave the office?
Does he yell at you on Twitter?
Does does virtue signaling only work on Twitter?
I suppose any online argument, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So I can't use it in real life.
Maybe in an email. I don't know if that works or not. I think that talking in public, like Twitter is, like you said, Twitter's a public conversation where when you talk to somebody on Twitter, you know, or at least you have it in your mind, that millions of other people can see this conversation. So when you talk in front of millions of other people, even though it is online, it changes the way you communicate. And people,
apparently you're not keeping an eye on my Twitter feed. I don't understand how anybody, especially with my Twitter feed, how anybody could accuse me of virtue signaling.
Why?
Fuck, man, the shit that I post. Yeah, I mean, it's, if I'm looking for attention, which it's obvious that I am.
Yeah,
I'm not looking for anybody to join my side.
You're looking for any kind of attention you can get.
Apparently, I mean, you don't put pictures of fucking Siamese twins up there or that autistic kid getting slapped, and
that was funny.
Obviously, that's posted for attention.
No, it's posted because it's funny. I don't post that shit for attention. I don't care about your attention. I just think it's funny. I post things that I think are funny. How is that attention? If I wanted attention, don't you think I would go out of my way more to get more followers, or even be nice to people?
But that's your version of attention.
What, to make people hate me?
Yes, exactly.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yes, it is. Attention is attention. You just said it.
No. If I had it my way, I would much rather people like me than hate me.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would, but I don't care enough to put the work in to do that. This is just my personality. If you don't like my personality, I mean, I would much rather you like my personality than not like my personality, but I'm not going to change it to make you like it. That's stupid.
So, anyway, where was we?
I don't know.
So that's really what you think. He just went there because that's the easiest way to shut down the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that he has any valid anything that he says about, or not just him, but anything that anybody says about the money shouldn't go because if it's a state issue, federal issue. You're telling me that these people have dirty drinking water and you want to argue over where the money comes from to fix it? You're a terrible person. That makes you a bad person. And if you want to shut the conversation down by saying that I'm virtue signaling, cool. We don't have to have this conversation, and you're still a bad person.
Right. So I think my only thought on it was, okay, do I care enough to send my own clean water to Flint, Michigan? Absolutely not.
Right.
Do I care enough to have I donated so much as $1 to make sure they get clean drinking water? Absolutely not.
Right.
Will I? No.
Right.
But I still have an opinion.
Yeah.
If federal money is going to go somewhere and I have a choice, it's going to go one of two places. I would rather it go for them to get clean water than to build a wall on the southern border.
Yes, I agree with that. And
whether you agree with it or not, that is not virtue signaling. Because can't you say the same thing? If it, the only difference. I was just going to say, who could possibly be against that? If you have to make a choice between the two, and if you say, okay, we're going to raise your taxes, we're going to raise everybody's fuel taxes of every state 50 cents a gallon, and all the money's going to go towards getting Flint, Michigan water. If everybody threw a fit, no, wait a minute, we're going to raise your gas taxes 50 cents a gallon, but everybody gets to decide. It's either going to Flint, Michigan, or it's going to the wall. Anybody that voted for the wall is an asshole.
See, I don't agree with you, because I think that even though I don't agree with what they're saying, and I think they're being misled, these people have an argument. They think that no wall means that illegal aliens are coming here to rape your wife directly and your kids. They're going to come here, rape your kids, even if you live in New York. They're going to come from fucking Mexico and rape your wife right now tonight. So we need to build this wall. And they're just stupid people. They bought into it, and they honestly believe it, So that
just because somebody honestly believes it, you're proving my point, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you are proving my point.
All right.
If somebody's ignorant,
yeah,
and believes that,
yeah,
they can still be an asshole.
Yes.
And that's what I had said, was that they were an asshole, and you tried correcting me, saying no, it was because that's what they believe.
Yeah, you're right, I guess. I got nothing. So what if, now this is kind of way out there, what if there is no water crisis in Flint? Have you been to Flint?
Yes.
Recently, when they're having a water crisis?
Well, haven't they been having a water crisis since all the whites left back in the 60s or something?
Why you got to turn this into a race thing?
I mean, I think that's why they have bad water.
Because the whites left?
Yes,
what
absolutely.
does that have to do with anything?
Are you serious?
What? No, I don't know anything about the Flint water crisis, so yes, I'm serious. I have no idea. Is it whites left, so the water got bad? I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, the whites left. They took all the fluoride. The water went bad.
We're leaving and we're taking our fluoride with us. What the fuck? I'm being serious. How are you connecting those two? I don't understand.
So I'm not gonna. I'll end up fucking everything up. But it's so white flight is when all the whites left, all the automotive jobs and along the supporting jobs left, and then the whites followed the jobs. That left no infrastructure, or the infrastructure failing.
Okay, wait. Can we stop? I want to try to define a few things here first. Is white flight bad then?
It depends who you are, I guess.
Is white flight bad for black people?
Is white flight bad for? I don't know how to answer that. If you're black and you don't like living around white people, I guess it was good because all the white people left.
But you just said that white flight means all the black people moved out and all the infrastructure went to hell.
No. All the white people moved out.
Yeah. All the white people moved out and the infrastructure went to hell, right?
Not immediately, but yeah, that's so
okay.
Unemployment skyrocketed.
Okay, that's fine. So then what is the term gentrification? What does that mean? That's when that's when whites move in, right?
I never said that.
No, I'm just asking. I'm trying to figure this out. So gentrification is when white people move into a neighborhood, right?
Fuck. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
I'm just asking you a question.
All right. White flight. Yes, gentrification is.
So gentrification is bad, which is white people moving in. White flight is bad, which is white people moving out. Which one's not? What's not bad? What can white people do that's not bad? How is this?
All right. Almost half of the people in the city of Flint are living in poverty. In a city that once boasted the highest median income in the state, thanks to General Motors, new U.S. consensus data shows 11,000. Shows today there are nearly 43,000 people living under the poverty level, which the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services lists as $11,880 for a single individual. That's the poverty line?
Jeez. That's rough.
All right. Time to do some math. I think we're going to bust this wide open.
Are we?
Poverty. No.
$11,000. That's like $3 an hour, right?
All right. What did I say? 11,000. How much?
I don't know.
380?
Yeah, sure.
880.
Right.
You're not even paying attention. All right. 11,880 divided by 52 weeks in a year. divided by 40 hours, which is what apparently everybody works. Oh, fuck.
What?
$5.71 an hour.
On a full-time job.
We need to raise the minimum wage.
Huh. Imagine that. All it took was a little bit of math for you to figure that out.
I still don't believe it.
I know you don't. You're a bad
All right. Flint has the nation's highest poverty rate among U.S. cities with at least 65,000 residents. Census released assessment. The Bureau estimated that 45% of Flint residents live below the poverty line. Flint also had the highest rate of childhood poverty with an estimated 58% of Flint residents. City planning, a lack of economic just get to the white flight part. It's hard to talk about because people, once they have moved out of the city, because they felt absolved from dealing with the city of Flint, when we ignore the problems, and this is fucking stupid. Anyway, white people left, so bad. It's bad.
But that was my point. Wasn't it bad when they moved in?
So no. So okay, white flight. It's not bad. So I see what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work in this situation. Okay, so what was bad was the jobs left. Okay.
The jobs left. How is that white flight?
No, the jobs left. White people left and followed and got other jobs.
Okay.
Okay, no. I'll try this a different way. So let's say in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
When was this? Yeah, early 60s. Let's say that you had I'll just read this. You saw the white flight starting in the early 1960s, and I think that just strengthened it and made them leave faster. That has eroded the middle class and the higher class people in the city of Flint, leaving this large group of unemployed and people living in poverty. Okay, so if you could picture a company like GM.
Yep.
And a fuck ton of factory workers.
Yep.
Let's say the majority of them are black.
Okay.
And then you have all the office people at the time. Let's say the majority are white. All right.
Oh, okay.
So I have to assume back in the early 60s that the higher up in the company, the whiter it got.
Okay.
All right. So when GM closed the doors of their factories in Flint and Detroit and all that,
yeah,
the jobs left. So you had higher paid individuals that could go to other places and get work. Whereas there was a huge influx or a huge availability, I guess, of automotive workers.
Okay.
Like 40,000 of them, 40,000 people all get fired that were doing the same job.
Yep.
Good luck finding the job.
Okay.
So then now you have all these people unemployed.
So white people bad.
No, nobody said white people bad. White flight is not saying that white people are bad for leaving. It is what happened. White people left
But that's not what happened. When you say white flight is what happened, that's not what happened. What happened was the factory closed down, the jobs left. Why can't you say that instead of saying white flight? Because you always have to frame, not you, people always have to frame everything white people bad.
White flight has been around since the 60s. It was called white flight.
I know that because that's a way to.
When all the white people would leave a town, it was called white flight. What would you call it? Black still here.
Yep. That's what I call it. Black still here. That's pretty funny. So you're missing the point of what I'm saying.
No, you're trying to dig, and
no, I'm not, because the words that we use are frustrating because the words that we use connotate white people are bad. Gentrification is bad when white people move in. White flight is bad when white people move out. So what are white people to do? Why can't we just name the problem instead of trying to blame the problem on white people?
You are fucked up in the head.
Nope.
I'm serious.
No.
The process of renovating. What are you saying? Gentrification's bad?
Yeah. People hate gentrification. They say gentrification is racist.
The process of renovating and improving a house or district so that it conforms to middle class taste.
Yeah. Okay.
The process of making a person or activity more refined or polite. Who could hate that? I don't understand. Is there like a different meaning that's not in the dictionary?
Yeah, you've never heard anybody complain about gentrification?
No. I've always heard there's good things.
That's because you're white. So if all of a sudden there's a black neighborhood and all of a sudden wealthy white people start moving into the neighborhood and redoing all the houses so that the home values all go up, then the black people can't afford to live there anymore. So all the black people have to move out into a new neighborhood that they can afford to live into until the white people take over that neighborhood too. Do you understand what I'm saying? White people move in, it's bad.
No, that's not the case at all.
So you're arguing with me whether or not people think gentrification is a bad thing? It's widely documented that people think that's a bad thing.
I can't find anything on all the sources that I've looked at in preparation for this episode to lead me to believe that gentrification is bad.
Oh boy.
Okay. Gentrification often shifts a neighborhood's racial, ethnic composition and average household income by developing new, more expensive housing, businesses, and improved resources. Conversations about gentrification have evolved as many in the social scientific community have questioned the negative connotations associated with the word gentrification. One example is that gentrification can lead to community displacement for lower income families in gentrifying neighborhoods. As property values and rental costs rise, however, every neighborhood faces unique challenges and reasons for displacement. The gentrification process is typically the result of increasing attraction to an area by people with higher incomes spilling over from neighboring cities, towns, or neighborhoods. Further steps are increased. So a little insight. The reason why I'm continuing to keep reading is I want to try to get as many words between me and what proved you right as possible.
I appreciate that.
Further steps are, I'm going to keep going. Further steps.
Oh shit!
I don't look at it as a bad thing. This isn't stick. I'm being serious. I don't look at it as a bad thing. If you take a shitty neighborhood, I don't care about color.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a shitty neighborhood and you make it a viable neighborhood, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I disagree.
Of course you do.
on principle, I agree, but but it's literally
there's no way that I could say anything any more generic that would be impossible for somebody to disagree with.
I know.
And you said, I disagree.
I disagree. So in theory, I agree with you, but in reality, what ends up happening is just poor people get pushed out. That's what happens. How is that okay?
They wouldn't if they pay their taxes.
Right. They wouldn't if they weren't poor. See, I'm arguing both sides of the fence. You see that, right? I'm arguing against gentrification while saying that gentrification blames white people. I'm arguing both sides of this here. I just realized that. That's funny. What were we even talking about?
I don't remember.
I honestly don't remember what the fuck we were talking about.
No, I remember. It was Randall calling me a virtue signaler.
Oh, yeah. How the fuck did we get there?
Randall is trying to gentrify me.
There you
I
go.
don't appreciate it.
Right. Oh, shit. That was funny. That was a roundabout way to get wherever we got. But you are a virtue signaler, though. Just by you using Twitter. Anybody that uses Twitter. Except for me.
All right. So you know what? Before I get angry.
Oh, don't get angry.
Before I get angry about being called a name, I should look up to see what the definition is.
To see if you qualify?
Yeah, because maybe it's true. Maybe virtue signaling is a pejorative?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, you've never heard of that word.
It means bad.
All right. Virtue signaling is a pejorative term that refers to the conspicuous expression of moral values. Academically, the phrase relates to signaling theory to describe a subset of what the fuck. Randall, there's no way you know what these words mean.
Whenever you say subset, I'm out. Fucking subset? Subset? What the fuck are you talking about?
All right. Randall, you tell me what a fucking...
I already told you what it was.
No, but I just because you said it doesn't mean that I believe it.
Fair enough.
I'm just trying to find a definition that I can understand. Pejorative. In the mid 2010s, many users on internet forums and social media gave virtue signaling a pejorative sense when they denounced such empty acts of public commitment to unexceptional good causes, such as changing Facebook profile pictures to support a cause, participating in the Ice Bucket Challenge, offering thoughts and prayers after tragedy, celebrity speeches during award shows, and politicians pandering to constituents on ideological issues.
Yeah, like exactly like what you're doing.
So, but I still don't understand how it is. It's not like I'm out there advocating for anything. I mean, if I was to say, yeah, I think rape is bad. That's virtue signaling.
No,
I'm not contributing to any anti-rape. Is there any anti-rape like fundraisers or something?
I'm pretty sure you can find them if you look. Yeah, people are pretty against rape.
Right, but maybe that's what we found our Patreon on.
Anti-rape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who'd say no to that?
Yeah, exactly. If you're not giving money to us, you're basically pro-rape.
No, so so I think that's where I'm stuck on. You can't find anything in any of my social media, either show related or personal, that has any reference to water in any part of the world.
Yeah.
So why then if I just say, here's my opinion, I think the money would rather be better suited here versus there. How am I virtue signaling?
If you're asking me, you're not. I mean, I already told you the reason that he said that is, in my opinion, because he didn't have a coherent argument. And
okay, but you went back on your. I didn't know you went back into stick mode, so I got confused.
That's how good I am. Because I didn't either. See, now I understand why it's so easy for people to hate me, because then nobody ever knows when I'm telling the truth or not.
All right, so it's weird that has become a common phrase.
It's not weird. I mean, if you look at human, the way people interact, it's not weird at all. They don't have a point. They don't have a valid argument, but they still want to win.
No, virtue signaling.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody has a valid point. Nobody is smart enough to argue points. Not very many people.
No, I'm not talking about this conversation with me and Randall. I'm talking about, because it's really the term virtue signaling has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
but it's just entered everyday vernacular.
Yeah,
in like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. That's weird.
It's not, though. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, is that by human nature, people want to win arguments, but they're not smart enough to argue a point. So
no. So just like reading the description, and they say, changing your Facebook page or your Facebook picture to a fucking ribbon, whatever that week's ribbon is.
Yeah.
You're virtue signaling, saying I care about something when in reality you're not doing anything to help the cause.
Right.
Okay. That had to have been going on longer than social media.
Yeah. People probably just didn't have a word for it, but yeah, you're probably right.
That's what I'm saying. The word's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But it's just showed up in 5 years. How could you virtue signal before social media?
I did it. I did it to you. You called me out on it. You probably don't remember this. You will when I tell you, but I had watched a documentary about college sports.
Yes.
About college players not getting paid, right? And we had a conversation, not over social media, in real life, right?
Yeah.
And what did I say? I said, it's important that these college people get paid, right? that was important to me at that time. I felt very strongly about it, that it was super, super important. I could give a fuck less about that. And you called me out on it. And you were 100% right. I didn't care, but I wanted you to think that I cared. Or I wanted somebody to think that I cared. It was important that people thought that I was a good person. You know what I mean? And I mean, it got me thinking a lot about the way I think about things. And that was fucking 10 years ago. Not quite that long ago. 6 years ago. And it wasn't on social media. So, I mean, people did it. People still do it.
No. I think you helped me through where I was stuck, because I was thinking virtue signaling had to be one person in front of many. And that's not the case.
No,
you're just trying to give people the impression that you care about something. When, in fact, then I was virtue signaling. I was trying to give off the impression that, don't forget about the people in Flint.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but then if you accept that as virtue signaling, then that shuts down every conversation, because nobody has enough time to care about everything.
So let's see.
You weren't going out of your way to try to make somebody believe that you're a good person. You were just giving your opinion.
Right. On a thread that I wasn't involved in.
Yeah. So then where do we draw the line? How do we have any conversation?
Shut down all social media.
I'm with you on that.
I mean, so you take a topic like the wall,
mm-hmm.
and it's very divisive.
Yeah.
And then you jump in, and your retort is something that, I was going to say it's something that you can't argue against, but people fucking argued against it on the thread. So, right. But we already established they're assholes. So anybody that's not an asshole couldn't argue against it. So then it's like you're saying, here's something completely unrelated. Why are you, okay, I want to build a wall. Well, I would rather get rid of breast cancer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's exactly. So your idea was, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, or throw it in the ring for water in Flint, because that's a thing that people are talking about. What if the next guy says breast cancer? Well, who are you to argue with him? Which is more important, breast cancer or drinking water? I mean, so everybody's virtue signaling about everything. I don't, that can't be the case.
Right. But what I added to the conversation was not relevant to the conversation. My opinion on legal matters in regards to money being distributed around the country are not relevant to anything.
Sure they are.
No, they're not. Because I could say I heavily encourage all this money that he wants to spend on the wall to go to, I don't know, fucking generating another hurricane to wipe out North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
It's not going to happen.
No.
My opinion is irrelevant.
I tend to agree with that, but not just because
if the water problem in Flint, Michigan is a state issue.
Yeah.
If that has been the legal whatever, then what my opinion on where federal money goes is irrelevant, especially in this conversation.
It's not, though, because you're part of the country, right? Everybody's voice should count, right?
Not if it's a state issue.
But you don't think that it should be. That's what you're arguing against. This is a stupid conversation.
Yeah.
Fucking Randall.
Goddamn Randall. You want the smoke? He's got a catchphrase now. I don't know how shitty you think that is.
I think that's just amazing. We
need to come up with a saying for a catchphrase for you. Put on the shirts that we don't sell.
Nah, That's okay. My new catchphrase is going to be, "You should start a podcast with Po' Boys."
All right.
Nothing.
If you don't want to play along, that's fine.
What? Fuck you! I never play along. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know, and it's taxing. Here's an idea that we could get 10 minutes of content out of, and you say,
I didn't say that.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to try it again. Maybe you can pick up the bait. We should come up with a catchphrase for you for our shirts.
Oh, yeah? What?
I don't know. Now we're supposed to think of it, asshole.
See, I strongly believe that it doesn't matter what I would have said at that point. I'm the asshole.
Had you come up with a catchphrase, that would have been gold.
Right, because I knew you were going to ask for a catchphrase for me. Oh, you're killing me.
How about nope.
Say it.
All right. We done?
I don't know. Are we? You don't want to talk about anything else?
Nope.
You don't want to talk to me anymore?
Yeah, if you have something to talk about,
We got like 6 million things.
Oh,
on
I don't care about these articles.
Duh.
I like our conversations when we were talking about the blacks versus board of education or whatever.
What? The blacks versus the board of education. Is that a real thing?
Sure.
So maybe you can explain what?
I'm sure I can.
You know what segregation is, right?
Because
I understand what segregation is. I think
that's separation by race, right?
Right.
All right. Look at me go.
So when they say that they want a safe space for minorities, what does that mean?
It depends.
On what?
Are they dividing by color?
Yeah.
That's
what I just said.
White? No, you said minorities.
Yeah, black people.
That's different.
Okay, so when the Black Student Union or whatever, the union at the colleges that supports black people says that they want safe spaces for minorities, I think they're talking about black people.
You didn't say that. You just said minorities.
Yeah,
you said minorities want a safe space. Yeah. And I asked, are they dividing by colors?
Yes.
Like brown, black, light brown, yellow.
So let's say that the student union at colleges want a safe space for minorities.
Okay. I'm for that.
You are.
Yes.
Are you for segregation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, why?
Just to make wherever you were going to throw a dead end at you.
I was going down a dead end. I was just asking a question. It was just something.
Of course I don't believe in segregation, and of course I don't believe in I refuse to say those words that you said.
Safe space.
Yes.
Is it because you're cisgendered?
Yeah, I guess. But it's there's no such thing anywhere in the real world. There's no such thing. So to create an area that one group of people can't enter because of what color skin they are, to me seems like it might be a step backwards.
You think?
So is that a real thing?
Oh, absolutely.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a real thing that it's being proposed. Is it a real thing being done? Like no whites allowed.
Yeah. Cool. Did you say that would be cool?
Yeah.
I believe that, yes, it has been enacted on some colleges, yes.
Black safe space.
Yeah. You look it up and we'll find out. Maybe I'm wrong.
In college. Trigger warnings is another thing that pisses me off. Yeah, a group of, here we go. A group demanded a space for students of color. Now they say they're being called racist. A student organization has attracted a firestorm of criticisms after it demanded that administrators create a safe space for students of color to organize. Some have called the action by Students for Justice racist and an effort to facilitate segregation on campus by creating an area unwelcoming of white students. Members, however, said critics have misinterpreted the group's intention. They said the demand, along with a few others, was a result of what they believe was the University of Michigan's lackluster response to recent incidents of racism on campus. I think it's just been a really interesting firestorm because we asked for a space for students of color. People automatically assumed that no white students would be allowed. Whereas that's never explicit in the language. That was never in our agreement, never anything we thought about. The group wrote a letter with a list of
Never
names.
anything we thought about. That's in the fucking name.
No. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
The specific demand that has attracted criticism calls on university officials to create a designated space for people of color, quote, to organize and do social justice work. The members said in a letter that they want a space separate from the multicultural center that exists already on campus. Quote, because we want a space solely dedicated to community organizing and social justice work specifically for people of color.
How can you misunderstand that? Come on, let's spin it.
Okay, I'm going to spin it. Ready?
Ready.
All right. I want a part of my yard to be a safe space for white people.
Okay.
I want it's specifically cordoned off to be a safe space for white people.
Okay.
All right. So let's start the conversation with that.
Okay.
I did mine. Now you have to. You're trying to prove to me that it's racist.
So no black people are allowed in your white safe space?
No, everybody's welcome, but it is specifically for white people.
Do you think that everybody feels welcome when you use that language?
Intent is the important part, not how you take it. I just know that in this part of my yard, I want white people to feel safe.
Do you think that white people will feel safe with less black people there?
Yes.
Yes. He said, yes. All I want to know is that when they have these safe spaces for people of color, are they going to have separate water fountains that only they're allowed to use?
Yes.
Yes. That's important. It's literally like people just totally forgot history. If we don't call it segregation, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So we're going down that road again.
No, it's fine. We can go down whatever road we want. It's our show. We can fucking
Right,
pave.
but-
We can pave whatever road we want. If there's no fucking road, we'll just make one.